So broad sweeping statements, obviously not everyone has the same system in place, the same setup, or photographs the same things, but there is a most logical choice for the first lens. There is something which you go, well, this is actually probably the most sensible thing. And I'm going to start off first of all with the actual answer, which most of you won't do because it's terrifying. And then I'm going to show you the most practical version. Now, the actual answer is if you need to get one lens, first of all, to start, and we're going to assume you're shooting Canon because I know nothing but Canon, but other brands will have these options as well. The best lens is the 90mm tilt shift lens if you're shooting still life. Here's why. One, it is wicked sharp and wicked cheap. Don't buy the new one, buy the old one from Canon. It's like £300. Two, you can do tilty shifty stuff. You can do all these weird perspective shifts, and you can also increase your depth of field at the maximum aperture, so you have to focus stack sometimes. Doesn't always work because sometimes it's too great of an angle, but that's also good. You can also give it a 50mm field of view or a medium format look by doing a stack. You can get the lens and make it go left, center, right, and all of a sudden you can see what a 50mm lens would have seen, but with the distortion from the distance you're shooting out of the 90mm lens, stack it all together, get 100 and something megapixel file, looks banging. That's how we shot the Papa John's advert, actually. That is a great thing to do. So it's kind of two lenses in one, but it's a bit scary. No autofocus. You've got to learn the Schimflung principle. Schimflung? I pronounce it wrong every time. Correct me in the comments again, please. You need to learn that. And I know the auto-generated captions that come up as shrimp flug or something like that. It's not that. But here's the logical choice, and this is what I went for, and I've still got it today. It's the Canon 100mm 2.8, not the L version, the standard version. It is 99% of the L version at a lot less money. This lens here, it does macro, it's got autofocus, it is brilliantly sharp. We shot ad campaigns on it for major worldwide brands for worldwide campaigns for years on this lens. Nowadays, I use it to scan my film negatives in. I have upgraded since, and I upgraded to the Zeiss Milvus Macro Planar, which costs about 10 times the amount, and a 90mm Mamiya Secor lens, which costs a little bit more. So I have upgraded, but you don't need to. This lens here is fine for almost everything. The only reason I upgraded was because I got a little bit of anxiety that my images were perhaps not good enough. And to be honest, you can't tell the difference. You really can't. So this lens here, if you're going to buy one lens to get started, it's this. And the reason is 100mm gets perfectly flat compression. There's no distortion. There's no pin cushioning on this lens. A 50mm lens is a bit wide. To get a close-up shot, you're going to get distortion because the closer you are to a subject, the more distortion you get. The downside to this lens is it's pretty long. 100mm is quite compressed. It's a very narrow field of view. You need to have the distance. If I'm shooting a car in here, I'm not going to get it in with this. I could get a motorbike or a moped in, but not a car. So you need to have a quick check of, how much space do you have and does it work for you? If not, maybe you do need to go for the 50mm lens because of the practicalities. But for the broad general sweeping statement, I know you'll want to hear this is it. But if you've got the guts to go for it, then go for the 90 tilt shift. It's a better lens. It's more flexible, gives you more options, makes you look more pro. Let me know in the comments below what lens you would go for. I'll see you below. I won't see you below. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.